this table or that table. I usually use one or the other. And then the other 10 will be back there. You will rotate. We will put one person here, one person there, one person there, one there. I hit the timer, and you have 6.5 minutes. It beeps. This person moves there, that one moves there, that one moves there, that one moves here. I hit the timer, and we go again. You have 6.5 minutes. It beeps. We switch. You go through the 4 stations. Your group is done. You turn in yours. You go out. Next group's in. We start over. 1 through 4. You go to your 4 stations, last one's done, out you go, 4 more come in, and so on. And that's the way the lab practicals will be done all the way through. You'll do that in here, you'll do it in test and measures, you'll do it in HAB rehab, you'll do it in TheraX, and so on. You will be given a time slot, and you will do activities either with us or on a partner. And you'll have to show what it is they want you to show. Okay, so 20 bones. All right, bony palpations. You will have 10 of them. And basically, what you're going to look on those, what you're going to be given is you're going to be given a series of palpations. Where would you go to palpate the acromion process? Where would you go to palpate the coracoid process? Where would you go to palpate the radial styloid? Be on the radial side. It's at the back of the thumb. Don't give me the ulnar styloid. That is wrong. Okay? The ulnar styloid, you put your hand down and you look for the bump. The radial styloid's at the distal end of the wrist, on the radial side. If I asked you a certain metacarpal, the third, remembering, the thumb is 1, 2, 3. So 3 is going to go to the long finger. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 1, 2, 3. So if I asked you to palpate my 4th DIP joint. 4th, PIP, DIP. This one here. So you just go there, that's the 4th DIP, you got it. Okay? If I said the 4th distal phalange, it would be this. If I said the 4th middle phalange, it would be this. The 4th proximal. So if I said proximal, intermediate, or distal, or if I did the thumb, if I said the 1st IP joint. Okay. Goes at anything up the body. Could be the medial condyle of the elbow, the lateral condyle of the elbow, the olecranon, How would you palpate the olecranon fossa? What do? You have them bend the elbow. You go in the back, and as they bend it, you let them move it back and forth a little, and you try to find the little groove that that's going into. All you got to do is tell me, have them bend their elbow, put it at the distal part of the olecranon, and have them. You got it right. Okay? That's how you do find it. Okay? Lateral border of the scapula, medial border of the scapula, spine of the scapula. Okay? Any of those you should be able to find. To find the spine of the scapula, what do? Start high and come down until you feel a bump. So start up here, work your way down, and when you hit that bone, boom, you're on the spine of the scapula. That's it. Don't go straight at it and end up below. Okay? Start high, work your way down, and then you're right on it. Okay? If you do these right and do them well, we've actually gotten groups out in 10, 12 minutes, and they've completed all 4 stations. Because we'll look up, these are done, those are done, we'll say, okay, go ahead and rotate. And they'll rotate, we'll have them go through 2 rotations before the first timer goes off, if they know it. Because it doesn't take long to answer the question. Where would you go for this? There. Okay, what would you do for there? Okay?
Wait, so do we palpate, like, together?
On her.
All of
On
us
the
in
bones.
one group?
You're in your station.
Okay.
You're in your station.
So she'll be a
One here,
station.
she's a station.
Okay.
I'm a station.
Okay.
Okay? It's one station at a time. I don't know about these two. I'm a little concerned.
We got good grades.
No name and, oh, okay. All right, but that's the way it is. That's all it's gonna be, just those types of things. And it's going to be fairly major, bony palpations. And, I mean, you can actually, if you can palpate it on you and say it would be right here, and then she'll probably say, okay, well, where would that be on me? And then you say, well, then it would be, and that's right, okay? And so that's that. On the muscles, you will be given 4. But what it is, I rotate through all of those that you've been given. And I'll say, okay, where would you go to palpate the origin of the long head of the biceps? It would be up in the shoulder. You can't palpate it, okay? But if I said the short head, where would that be? That you can. That's on the coracoid process. So you would go to the coracoid, okay? And where would the insertion be? Here. And what would you ask me to do? Bend my arm, pull up, and you can find the biceps. That's the insertion. Follow it down. You're there, okay? What's the action of the biceps? Flexes the arm and supinates. That's it. You got all of the points for that one.
So you're only going to ask origin and insertion for muscles?
And action.
But for the palpations?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel like the body?
No. Origin, because if you know the origin and insertion, then you have to know where it's running, coming from here to there or whatever, okay? All right, and like I said, of that list of muscles, you will be given 4. And then the next group, they will be given 4, and the next group, they will, and so when you come through, and I forget, I think I had 13, so when you come through, one will get these 4, one will get those 4, one will get those 4, and then the last one will get one with some intermix. Next group comes in, they'll do similar, but we mix them around, okay? So that no 2 are exactly the same. Now, 2 things. No discussion of anything when you go out the door, okay? You can't talk to them, you can't tell them what because number 1, that's not fair, because if you tell somebody as you leave, that's one reason when I was in the very last group that did orals for their license, 1977, last year it was done because 6 students filed a lawsuit against the FSBPT because they said that they heard students outside telling the other ones what their questions were. How do you prove it? You can't. And they said, you know, and plus it was a 2-day exam. And so some of them had their orals day 1. They went home, they could tell everybody and their brother what was on their orals, okay? So they had to drop them so you cannot communicate. When you leave, you're done, you go, get in your car and go home, okay? Now, if you want to discuss with the person you took it with and no one else is around, that's fine. Once you leave, you guys can talk, but no one else, okay? That's a quick way if we find out to get a couple zeros, and zeros kill you, okay? Okay, and that's it. Bony palpations, 10 of them. They're usually very quick. Where would you go to palpate this? Great. Where would you go to palpate? Good. Where is this? Boom. You do those 10. The muscles, same thing, but only 4. Origin, insertion, and action. That's the only thing that I want to know. And then the bones. All right? Yes? Oh, I'm going to go get a sign-in sheet for this. if I